If you do just 1% more in anything every single day, you will improve by an astonishing 37.78% in a year. Let that sink in for a moment. Imagine yourself a year from now, standing in front of a mirror. Are you a little wiser, healthier, or closer to your dreams? Or do you feel like nothing much has changed? Here's the thing. If you do nothing, or worse, waste time on distractions and bad habits, you won't stay the same. You'll fall behind. In fact, that same math, 37.78%, works against you when you lose time or neglect opportunities. The result? A year lost to inaction or time wasted. Think about this. What skills, habits, or routines did you practice consistently over the past year? Maybe it was something small, writing every morning, reading before bed, or spending 10 minutes a day learning a new language. Now reflect on how much you've grown because of those efforts. But if you can't think of anything, that's okay too. This moment is about self-awareness. Because what you choose to do or not do daily becomes the foundation for your future. If you don't plant the seeds of growth now, you'll have nothing to harvest later. This script isn't about lofty, unreachable goals. It's about the simple, powerful truth that progress is still progress, no matter how small. Consistent steps and the art of patience can transform your life. You've probably felt overwhelmed if you've ever tried to start something new, whether it's working out, learning a skill, or building a better habit. The mountain ahead seems too tall to climb. But here's the truth. You don't have to reach the summit in one giant leap. You just have to take the first step. Let's bring this closer to home. Think about someone you admire. Maybe it's a successful professional, an artist, or even a close friend who seems to have it all together. You might assume their success came from big, dramatic moments. But if you ask them how they got there, you'll likely hear a different story. They'll tell you about the little things they did every single day, often when no one was watching, that led to where they are now. The same is true for you. Let's say you want to improve your health. You don't need to overhaul your diet overnight or spend hours at the gym. Start with something small. Drink 1 extra glass of water. Take a short walk. Do this every day, and those small actions will compound over time. It's the same with your mind. Imagine reading for just 15 minutes a day. That's not much, barely a chapter. But over a year, that's the equivalent of reading dozens of books. And those books, they'll reshape how you think, learn, and grow. The key is consistency. It's not about making massive changes all at once. It's about showing up every day, no matter how small the effort seems. Why is it so hard for us to stick with small, consistent efforts? Why do we crave instant results? It's easy to get frustrated when progress feels slow or invisible. But let's take a moment to reflect on your past year. Think about one thing you did consistently, big or small. Maybe you journaled a few times a week, practiced yoga occasionally, or checked in with a mentor regularly. How much better are you at that skill or habit now than you were a year ago? Now flip the question. What about something you didn't commit to? Something you kept postponing because it wasn't the right time? Or it didn't seem like a priority? Has anything changed? Probably not. This exercise shows us the power of patience. Growth doesn't happen overnight. It happens quietly, beneath the surface, as the result of consistent, intentional actions. The truth is that we often underestimate how much we can achieve in a year by focusing on small, daily improvements. But we overestimate what we can achieve in a single day by trying to force instant results. We live in a world that's designed to make us impatient. Think about it. Notifications, fast deliveries, instant answers. It's all right there at our fingertips. But this constant access to immediate gratification rewires our expectations. We start to believe that everything in life should happen quickly. Let me give you a relatable metaphor. Imagine planting a garden. You can water the seeds every day, make sure they get enough sunlight, and pull out the weeds. But no matter how much effort you put in, the plants won't grow faster. They'll grow at their own pace. What's in your control is the consistency of your care, not the speed of the results. That's how patience works. It's not about sitting back and waiting. It's about taking daily actions, no matter how small, and trusting that those actions will lead to growth. When you feel impatient, ask yourself, what can I do today that my future self will thank me for? Even a single step forward is better than standing still or giving up. Here's the most important part: turning 1% improvements into a sustainable way of life. It's not enough to understand the concept. You need to internalize it, make it part of your daily routine, and build a system that supports it. Let's break it down into 4 steps. Awareness is the foundation of change. Without it, you can't know where to begin or what needs improving. Start by identifying one specific area of your life where you want to see growth. Don't try to tackle everything at once. That only leads to overwhelm. Instead, focus on one thing that feels both meaningful and manageable. For example, if you want to improve your health, narrow it down further. Do you want to eat healthier, exercise more, or simply sleep better? If it's your career, ask yourself, do I want to improve my skills, build better relationships at work, or become more organized? The clearer you are about your goal, the easier it will be to take action. Now, ask yourself this question: what small action can I take today to get just 1% better? Remember, the key is to think small. If you want to eat healthier, it could be as simple as swapping one sugary drink for water. If you want to learn a new skill, it might be dedicating just 5 minutes a day to practice. These small steps may feel insignificant in the moment, but over time, they create a ripple effect that leads to real, lasting change. It's also important to identify what might be holding you back. Are there habits, distractions, or fears that are getting in the way of your progress? Awareness isn't just about knowing what to do. It's also about recognizing what not to do. Take an honest look at your daily routines and ask yourself, what's one thing I can stop doing today to create space for improvement? Consistency is the bridge between intention and results. This is where most people stumble, not because they lack motivation, but because they expect instant results. And when those results don't come, they give up. Here's the truth. Improvement isn't about doing something big once. It's about showing up day after day, no matter how small the action. Even when it feels like nothing is changing. Even when progress is invisible. Imagine planting a tree. On the first day, you dig a hole and place the seed in the soil. You water it, make sure it gets sunlight, and check on it daily. For weeks, maybe even months, it looks like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, the roots are growing stronger. And one day that tree begins to sprout. This is how consistency works. Every time you show up, whether it's practicing a skill, making a healthier choice, or taking one small step toward your goal, you're building roots. And those roots will eventually support your growth. To stay consistent, start by setting small, realistic goals. Instead of saying, I'll work out for an hour every day, start with 10 minutes. Instead of saying, I'll write a book this month, commit to writing 1 paragraph a day. Small goals are easier to stick to, and they build momentum over time. It's also helpful to create reminders or systems to keep yourself accountable. Set alarms, write your goals down, or use a habit tracker to visualize your progress. These tools serve as gentle nudges, reminding you to stay on track, even when life gets busy. And remember, perfection isn't the goal. You will have off days. You will miss a step. That's okay. What matters is getting back on track as soon as possible. Consistency doesn't mean never failing. It means always trying again. Reflection is the secret ingredient that turns effort into growth. Without it, you're just going through the motions. By taking the time to look back on your progress, you can identify what's working, what's not, and how you can improve moving forward. Set aside a specific time each week or month to reflect. Ask yourself questions like, what small wins did I achieve this week? What challenges did I face, and how did I handle them? What can I do differently to make next week even better? Celebrating your small wins is crucial. It might feel silly to pat yourself on the back for drinking an extra glass of water, writing one more page, or going for a short walk. But these small victories are proof that you're making progress. Acknowledging them reinforces your commitment and motivates you to keep going. Reflection also helps you adjust your approach. If something isn't working, say your habit feels too overwhelming or you're not seeing any progress, it's an opportunity to tweak your strategy. Maybe the action you've chosen is too big, and you need to break it down further. Or maybe you need to pair it with something enjoyable, like listening to music while exercising or rewarding yourself after completing a task. Finally, use reflection as a way to reconnect with your why. Why did you start this journey in the first place? What's driving you to improve? Revisit that reason regularly and let it guide you through moments of doubt or discouragement. Commitment is what transforms short-term effort into long-term change. This isn't just about achieving a single goal, it's about creating a lifestyle of continuous improvement. To stay committed, you need a clear vision of your future self. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 1 year from now. Picture the version of you that's 37.78% better. What do they look like? How do they feel? What have they achieved? Now, compare that vision to where you are today. What steps do you need to take to bridge the gap? Break it down into daily actions, things you can do right now to move closer to that future self. But here's the key. Commitment isn't about relying on motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. Commitment is about showing up even when you don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when progress feels slow. One powerful way to strengthen your commitment is to build a support system. Share your goals with someone you trust, a friend, a family member, or a mentor. Let them hold you accountable and celebrate your wins with you. Sometimes just knowing that someone else believes in your potential is enough to keep you going. Finally, remind yourself that this isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. The goal isn't to achieve perfection overnight. It's to get a little better every day. Some days, your progress might feel microscopic. Other days, it might feel monumental. But as long as you're moving forward, you're succeeding. By following these 4 steps, awareness, consistency, reflection, and commitment, you can turn 1% improvements into a way of life. It's not about making massive changes all at once. It's about embracing the power of small, intentional actions that over time create extraordinary results. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this. You are the result of what you do daily. Not what you do occasionally or when you feel motivated, but what you do consistently. A year from now, you'll either be 37.78% better or 37.78% worse. The choice is yours. So start small. Pick one thing to improve today. Maybe it's writing 1 sentence in your journal, drinking 1 more glass of water, or practicing gratitude for 5 minutes. Whatever it is, commit to doing it daily. And remember, progress isn't about speed, it's about direction. As long as you're moving forward, even if it's just by 1%, you're on the right path. Trust the process, value patience, and know that every small step you take today is shaping the person you'll become tomorrow.